Hello, everybody. My name is Tatah Njoka, and I'm a former Division I football player at Towson University and Glenville State University. And I would like to give a special shout out for one of my closest friends, Tyler Patron, for having me on here to talk about the importance of academics in a college environment. First time I first realized how important academics played a huge role into getting an opportunity to play football was when I was in ninth grade, and I was somebody that always had, average grades. But I also, because I grew up in a home where my parents always illustrated, keep your grades good. They don't care about anything else but just making sure my grades is good. So I always had that built in me. So I understood, keep A's and B's and C's. But then when I got to high school and I started playing football, one of my coaches asked all of us how many of you guys want to play college football, and the whole room raised their hand up, and then he asked us, but who's really willing to put in the work, not just on the field, but outside of the football field, to be able to put yourself in the best situation to get an opportunity. And at that time, I just thought just getting A's and B's and C's would get me an opportunity. But it wasn't until I got to like my junior year, and I remember one prestigious school called Georgetown University came by, and he liked me a lot, and the coach liked me a lot, said a lot of great things, and wanted to give me an opportunity to go play for them. But then when he saw my SAT scores, then he kind of like pulled back and was like, if you can get this to a certain level, then we'll give you a shot. And then that's when I really started realizing that it wasn't just my SAT score that was average. My grades were pretty average too. So at the time, my high school gave us opportunity to retake class at nighttime, and I decided that I wasn't gonna let the situation I was in reflect into my future. So I went and took night classes to replace the C's and B's that I had and turn them into A's. A lot of teachers was looking at me like, why are you doing that? Like, you have good grades. But at the same time, I wanted to show college coaches the best of me, and that required showing that, I was a high-class student, and not just on the field, but also off the field. So just giving myself that opportunity to take them classes gave me an opportunity to play college football, and I was able to get a full scholarship to Glenville State College straight out of high school. And when I was there, it was always on my mind that I would never let football use me. I would always use football. So in case things didn't work out, or even, something would have happened, I will always have a backup plan to where I can always lean on and have that security blanket. And when I got to college, I told myself I would never have to, do what I had to do back in high school, like having to go retake classes. Instead, I would just do it right the first time. So I just made sure I got help, and I started moving a certain way when I got to college. Whenever I needed help with anything, I made sure I reached out to friends, family, or even teachers, especially my teachers. I had a very tight bond with my teachers, and that's one of the biggest keys, making sure you're very tight with your professors, because they'll come to help you in your time of need. When you have like a 88 and they seen all the effort that you've put in, they're going to be willing to bump up your grades. Everybody wants to say C's get degrees, but I honestly believe that E's get degrees. Effort, that's the most important thing. Showing effort, making sure you're putting an image out that people are willing to help you just based on the amount of effort you put in. And I had a purpose. Then I also created a plan, and with that plan, I was gonna get a payout out of it, and that required me getting my school paid for, and I had to plan how to do that. And that's when I started putting myself in situations to, give myself the best opportunity to get a shot by retaking classes, that I didn't have to retake, but I took it because I wanted to show colleges that I'm not just good at football, but I'm also good in the classroom. And I applied that same thing to when I got to college. Instead of messing around when finals came, some kids like to do good during the whole semester, and when finals come, they like to slack off a little bit. But then what they don't realize is you could have an A in this class, but then since you thought you good with a B, you became complacent. And now you just let off, took the foot off the pedal, and now you ended up with a B when you could have ended the semester off with an A. And when I started looking at things like that, it started putting myself in situations where I told myself I'm gonna graduate early and pursue playing Division I football. And if I didn't have that mindset early on, that I'm gonna always take my academics serious, when I hit the portal, school started coming to me, and it was where it was a situation where, like, I was the catch. You know what I mean? I showed them that I could play ball. I handled my schoolwork, and it was pretty obvious that I was, a good choice, a great candidate to have. I was more of an asset, because regardless how I perform on the field, I'm still an asset because I'm still helping the team GPA go up. And anybody that's recruiting will be able to see that and be willing to give you a shot. And when I hit the portal, it was pretty easy for me to get into schools. A lot of people mess up because when they're willing to transfer, their grades, they didn't handle their grades at their previous school, and then it puts them back. Whereas if you realize that, okay, if I'm not playing or if something happens here and I want to leave, the next school is going to be asking for your grades. And if you understand that whatever situation you're in, you're going to control what you can control, and that requires your grades. I had 5 surgeries in college, but I realized that whenever I had those injuries, I'm going to make sure I still control what I can control, and which meant making sure my grades were straight and also making sure I'm representing myself at a high level to where I'm not over here getting in any type of trouble where it could, downgrade my name at any sort. And just doing all those things and keeping those principles, I was able to get great opportunities. And I ended up graduating top of my class in college. And just doing that helped me pursue and get accepted to grad school as well. And I'm currently dominating that right now as well. And that's just to show, and football just came to an end for me due to injuries. That just goes to show that regardless, if you're trying to play at a high level or continue to play athletics and sports, in any sports, just always remember to keep your academics in line, because the game comes to an end. But one thing they can never take away from you is that education. One memory that comes to my mind was when we was in undergrad, Tyler and I, we had this one class that everybody complained about being tough, about being hard. But one thing, and also they also complained about the fact that they couldn't understand what the professor was saying because he had an accent. But one thing Tyler and I made sure we did was not let that be an excuse as to why we dropped and failed this class and had to retake it. So one thing we did was every single day we would go to the teacher later on in the day and get extra help. And the teacher, I have so much respect for him because he had open doors for us if we needed help every single day. And to this day, he's one of my favorite teachers. And because teachers are really here to help us, and if we see that and take advantage of that, we can be able to use them to leverage our experiences to really get good grades in these classes. And Tyler and I understood that, so we took full advantage of it. We was there every single day. And by the end of the semester, we ended up having the highest grades in class because we made that effort. And now our teacher told us if we ever need a letter of recommendation, he got us. And that's just one of those things where when you show effort, teachers will always want to help you and vouch for you in your time of need. And we always believe how you do anything is how you do everything. So if we was just even walking in class, we had a purpose and a mindset where we're going to go to class and have the mindset where we're not just going to sit in the back and just not pay attention. We're going to go to class, sit in the front, just like you do with football. When you go in the meeting room, you got to go in there and sit in the front if you want to understand what's going on. Sit in the back, you're not going to learn nothing. And for some people, at least, but I know for me and my friend Tyler, we just always wanted to make sure we're putting ourselves in the best situation to really understand what we're really doing. And I feel like just doing those little things helped us in being successful on the football field and off the football field.